starting to get used to it with the ball though. It's not like I don't even think about it anymore just because I have so much shit to do. You know.
I don't think about it. Honestly, I wear hats every single day for the most part. It's very rare when I get up and actually do my hair. So it's one of those things like it wouldn't look any different if I showed up to the gym. Like, you wouldn't know until I took my hat off.
You know, I actually think both of you guys could pull it off though. I could see the head structure. I feel like both of you guys could pull it off. It takes a few months. When you first see it, it's kind of like, whoa, what happened? And then you're like, you know what? Okay. The thing about anybody who's done it, when Hunter did it, it's like, oh shit, you look different. And then it's like, you know what? I like it. You know,
same with Nick.
Exactly. Even Nick, you know, Martin.
I'm not gonna lie though. I feel like Andy's got a little bit more to worry about. I don't really know any classic guys that come in bald.
Is there a classic bald guy?
I can't name one.
There's classic guys that should be bald, but they hold on to it. You gotta like I don't want to, but like if you look at Michael the Bull, you kind of like you holding on.
Starting to thin up there a little bit.
He said,
I don't want to put my spot, but let me share the screen. Hold up. Let me share the screen.
Yeah, we got the runner up Texas champ right here.
Oh yeah, we got some stars today. You won 2 shows, didn't you, Andy?
He won 3.
Holy shit! Okay,
back to back. Talking about 3-peat. He celebrated me. I'm like, motherfucker, you made it to Olympia 3 different times.
Bro, that's kind of crazy though. If you think about it, wait, but how has anybody won 3 shows this season?
No, I can't name one other than Andy.
Think about that, bro. Think about that. That's good. That's kind of crazy.
I'm actually gonna hit one before the Olympia too.
Damn.
I won't say which one, but it's 2 weeks before the Olympia, and it's a qualifier for next year. So we figure like, well, we're gonna be ready. Why not just jump in it and try to get that qualification locked down for next year? You know,
smart move, bro.
Okay, so this is the thing. I think sometimes when guys are good, they think that there doesn't need to be any planning, right? Or I can win shows. I mean, you won fucking 3 shows, right? I could win shows. This is true, but you have a life too. So, and you want to get better. So you should be planning so that you have time to get better and have time to get shit done in life, right? It's not like you're planning to pick a week show. It's just like, okay, how can I schedule this around so I have months? Well, because if you qualify early, well, now you have a long time to get better, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get to do life shit. So you're not like, okay, I have to diet in the middle of the year, right? So I always think planning is good because you'll have really good guys who don't go to the Olympia because they didn't plan, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're good enough to be at the Olympia, you kind of should be at the Olympia, right? Mm-hmm. You know? Even this year, you had shows where it was just stacked. And then you have shows where it was like boom and stacked, you know, because I don't think people are necessarily planning, right?
No,
no. So
it's crazy too, because even at like a weaker show, a show that you would think, oh, there's going to be nobody here. It's not a big name show. I feel like everyone thinks the same. They're all like, hey, this is going to be the show I can win because it's a smaller show. And then everyone ends up doing that show.
Bro, I don't think anybody thought Tampa was going to be that deep. You know, I mean, you could assume, we'll probably have John or we'll probably have Shire, but I don't think anybody thought it was going to be that deep. And the people who were there were all at their all-time best.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, so I don't think anybody could have expected that, you know. But that was a hell of a show, both shows. Mm-hmm. But let me pull up Andy for anybody who's not familiar. So this was Legion.
Yeah, this was Legion. Yeah.
Was this the first show?
This was the second.
Okay.
Second show.
Okay, there we go.
But yeah, Legion was kind of small. I think there was only like 12 guys. But then the next week in Oklahoma, there was 28.
Oh, holy shit!
Yeah. So I was like,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. The most exciting thing I remember that morning was your first show. I kept
Uh,
seeing updates. I kept staying on. I kept telling Paul, "Yo, Paul, this is Andy's show, dog. We're gonna see him at the Olympia. This is Andy's fucking show." He's like smack in the middle, and it was like to me, it wasn't close. Like between the structure and the conditioning, I was like, "This is Andy's fucking show." And then he came back into the second one, and it's like, "Fuck, dude, he's about to win the second one." And then the third one, it was like, I just assumed you're gonna win by the third one.
bro,
You
it's
know, when
hella,
you have that first show going in, not knowing, just bringing your best, and obviously winning that one. You're going to go in with a little bit of confidence in the second one. Now, if you don't think you're going to win the third one after winning two in a row, you just you have a reason to feel like the shit going into the third one. To be
yeah,
honest,
yeah. No, the
so
third one was definitely like, the third one, I was more like, I don't really care who shows up. This is just gonna be fun. I have nothing left to prove
yeah,
at this point. But like you said, that first one, you really just don't know. There's no almost like no expectation. You're just like, look, I'm just gonna bring my best, and like, let's let the judges decide. You know?
Yeah.
I'm
Hey.
gonna speak for myself. There was a lot of pressure that I kind of felt going into Tampa. And then
Mhm.
when I was seen and I took third going into Texas, it was like what you said. I may not have won, but I won in my own way. And like going into Texas, I was like, my body just got better because there was no stress. I was just having fun in the back. Like, and I placed higher because of it. So it's like you almost get better because your mindset's just like, I'm just here to have fun. It's
It's it's like
crazy.
it's like similar to what happens in between prejudging and finals, right? It's like
Yes.
once you get that first initial prejudging over, the nerves kind of settle down. You kind of know where you're going to place, and then you can just kind of enjoy it a little bit more.
Yep. 100%. Because you kind of know where you're going to fall at that point.
Yeah.
So it's like it's pretty fucking dope. Because I never did two shows back to back, so I can
Mhm.
imagine winning and carrying that high in the other ones. It's like you're not cocky, but it's just like, man, I have nothing to prove, so I'm just going to show up.
Well, it
Kind of
did.
thing.
I will say it. You'll probably feel this probably like within the next 2 weeks. You might already feel it now, bro. The 3 shows in 3 weeks with the travel. I was like, or so I win. I'm like, let's fucking go. Like on to the next. Let's run it. I got all this momentum, right? Like, and there's no fatigue whatsoever because I'm just riding off like pure adrenaline and excitement. Second show happens. Third show happens. Bro, I get off the flight from the third show. I'm like, let's go hit the gym. I'm ready. Olympia prep. It's time. And then like I think like 3 days later, bro, I woke up and I was like, bro, I can't even. I'm dead. Like all the travel, all the training, 3 peaks in a row hit me like right smack in the face. I took like 4 days off training. Like my body was just wrecked. So
Today is that day.
yeah.
I woke up today like, what the fuck? Like I was riding, I guess, that high,
Mhm.
and all day, like doesn't matter the caffeine or what the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, fuck, man, I'll be cool for like a good hour, and then it's like I just want to lay down.
You literally just need just rest. That's it. There's no, you can't really, you could take days off the gym and stuff, or you could like take energy drinks or kratom or whatever. But truly, your body just needs time off and like rest, back off the volume for a little bit, and let the body recover.
Mhm.
So I feel like everybody's recovery demands are a bit different. But when you're lean, like if you're in true shape, bro, you can only feel so good, bro. It takes a while. Like even right now, you probably feel, Joe, you probably feel a lot better than you did a few days ago, but you're still not there. You're still like, bro, like I think sometimes you get ahead of yourself. I feel good today. Let me do this, and you're like, oh, I don't know. Midway through the day, you're like, you know what? Maybe this was a bad idea. I've been walking
Oh,
all day,
I
bro.
fucking we originally had so I planned a Disney trip with Ashley and Jax for October. Plenty of time after the show, like to get myself back. Because typically it takes me about like 6 weeks to start feeling like myself again. By like 5 or 6 weeks, I'm like, okay, this I'm starting to feel pretty damn good. And Paul was about to get us tickets because he got an opportunity to go even earlier. So I have my trip planned later on in October, and then Paul had one planned for like the 16th of August. And I
Yeah.
looked at him, I was like, yo, bro, like, do you think you can fucking do a Disney day like that close to us finishing a show? Like, fuck no. And he thought about he rescheduled it for later on.
Yeah.
But I was like, dog, like, I don't even want to think about walking from that day like at all.
No,
Like,
no.
you're not gonna
And
enjoy it. You
yeah,
feel terrible.
you guys are heavy too. How much is Paul Joe? Like 250?
Paul,
Yeah, right now, I'm actually heavier than Paul right now. He's 251, I think, and I'm 263.
Yeah, I don't care what shoes you have on. You go to Disneyland
yeah,
at 250, you're done for.
Especially
yeah.
and fuck dog, you're carrying that body weight like you're shredded. So you're carrying all that weight around, is lean, fatigued, and like you said, ain't no amount of coffee or kratom is gonna make you feel great.
Yeah. I'm on the taller side for a bodybuilder, and I'm still heavy even for my height to some extent. And then you guys weigh the same as me, shorter than me. So I'm like, how do you guys feel? You know what
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
saying?
Beatty,
So
I think the
it's
same thing, bro. Like if I'm on a plane, I'm like,
uh,
damn, bro, I do not fit on here. And then I just think, imagine how Joe feels.
Bro, I'll never
yeah.
forget. There was
I
only
saw him.
one time, dog. One time that I had no choice and I had to take a shit on the plane. And I
Oh
was already 290 pounds. And I remember sitting in there, I couldn't even fucking wipe. Like my shoulders were literally touching the fucking the side of the walls. I was like, how
that's
the fuck
terrible.
does anybody do this?
That's terrible.
It was the worst. The
But
worst.
I mean, when duty calls to that point, sometimes, bro, everything has to. You gotta forget the rules. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta you gotta let it go.
Every time, so if obviously if I'm flying with like Ashley and Paul, like typically we'll have somewhat of a similar like aisle arrangement. Paul doesn't sit in the same aisle as me. We make sure not to do that. But me having Ashley and Jax is kind of cool because we have like a caveat right there. But when it's just me by myself and I'll roll up to the seats, look at the two people. Now, whether if I'm on the aisle seat, cool. But I'll tell them like, hey guys, like, do you want to switch seats with me? Because I mean, this isn't going to be the most comfortable situation. And they'll typically tell me, yeah. They'll just look at me and be like, yeah, you're good right there. Because I can at least lean out this way, and I'm not all up in their business and stuff, you know. So if I'm in
Yeah,
the middle or on this side, I have the wall pushing me this way.
Oh
I'm
hell
fucking up
no.
there, they're right.
Oh
yeah.
bro.
God forbid I'm in the middle. You know?
Oh no, that's so bad. Hey, you ever feel like when you're in the aisle that the what do you call them? The flight attendants purposely like hit you?
Bro, oh, I'm like
Bro, all the
falling
fucking time.
I'm falling asleep, baby. I'm like just trying to get comfortable. My eyes are closed. I feel boom. I'm like, damn. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Or they hit me with the cart. I'm like, oh, I gotta tuck my arm in. Like it's like they
Bro,
hit you on purpose.
for sure. I think they're trying to send like a message like when I'm coming through, you know what I'm saying? Like I think they're being like passive aggressive. Like yeah, let me make sure he knows that you got to give me space. But that shit is rude as hell. They hit the shit out of me. Oh my fucking goodness! I have no choice, bro. I can't go anywhere. There's nowhere for me to go. There's
And
nowhere
I
for
don't
me
even
to
feel
go.
like you can get mad because like you kind of put yourself in that situation.
This is true. This is true. But first class is expensive, bro. It's too expensive.
Fuck
Wait,
that.
wait. Like it's actually cheaper a lot of times to get two seats. To
Mhm.
actually get two seats, you know, but I'm not doing that shit neither. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that shit.
What's
Um,
the
I would rather sit there like this
what's the
to pay
longest
that
flight
price.
you guys have been on?
I think for me it was 6.5. I think
What, where was that to?
I want to say it was a direct flight to Florida from Cali. It was five and a
Oh,
half or six.
that was the same one I took. It was from San Diego to Florida.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god,
bad.
bro.
Yeah. I mean, when I go to New York, it's pretty long because it's complete opposite coast. So that might be the longest, maybe 8 hours. How long is that?
Did you
Well,
fly LAX, baby?
yeah, LAX to LaGuardia.
Uh-huh.
It got to be at least what 8 hours, probably 8 hours.
Hmm.
I
I'm not
can't.
gonna lie though, bro. I'd rather do a direct flight than the stupid layover shit. Because
Oh yeah.
sometimes, like, you're like the stress behind. Sometimes they put those flights like right next to each other. It's like you land, you got 20 minutes to get to the other fucking gate. How the fuck am I supposed to do that? Like, we
Yeah,
missed a flight. We missed a flight to Tampa because of that.
Oh,
Because they delayed our flight. We had and then we missed the flight. Got another flight to do a layover, and then that layover got delayed, which helped us or made us miss the other flight. It was all fucked up. It was so bad.
bro, yeah, the stress of flying. That literally happened. I went to Texas a couple of weeks ago to hang out with Prob for a bit before we started prep, and it was the same thing. It was because he lives in Austin, so it was like Fresno to DFW, and we get off on DFW, and I had 15 minutes, bro, to get there. I was sprinting, like literally sprinting with my meals, my luggage. And I get there and she's like, "Oh, we're in the final boarding. You're the last person. You barely made it." I'm like, man, like, I mean, I'm happy I made it, but it, like you said, it is very stressful.
Yeah, bro. Now imagine you're fucking getting ready for a show. Like, you're on a prep. You don't even have the fucking energy to run.
Yeah, you tear your hamstring trying to run.
When we were coming back from Texas, they didn't let us on that flight, right? Remember?
They closed the door on us. Remember that?
Bro, yeah. That's terrible. That's terrible. In prep, I feel like I wouldn't have the brain energy and sense of self to like be able to conduct myself properly. I feel like I would just be so irritated that I probably would get myself. They probably wouldn't have offered me another flight because they're like, "This guy's rude. Fuck this guy" or something, you know. But I feel like you and Paul handled it well. I've never actually had to fly by myself in prep or on a diet. I don't think that's a good idea. I feel like that would just be miserable.
Yeah, you got to have like, for me at least, I got to have like my girl with me to help me. Like, I don't know. She just has a way of like keeping me calm because if I get stressed out, if I don't calm myself down, it'll just be like a snowball effect. And then once your cortisol starts to rise like that, you're like, it's terrible, not only for your physique, but just like the whole situation in general. So, you know, like with her, she'll be like, "Okay, don't worry. Like, let's look at some other flights. Don't worry. Just eat your meal. We'll figure this out." She helps like a ton with that type of stuff because by yourself is different for sure.
Every time I see a bodybuilder and their girlfriend or wife or fiance, I always notice eventually the girl starts to become like a manager.
Yeah.
I know that like they have like a manager cap. There'll be a girlfriend, all of a sudden they'll throw on a manager cap and they'll start being a manager. I'm like, I see how because you can't function to that level. You need help, bro. You need help because men in general, we're not actually that good at like managing work anyway, like planning and managing. So on prep, on top of that, we need, bro, we need help for that kind of shit to just manage tasks and be on point. I've definitely noticed that the girlfriends start to throw on the manager cap. Like, oh, okay, I see how this works. You know, you need it, bro. You need that shit.
It's crazy how much of a difference it could swing, right? Like you could have a partner like that that's very supportive and almost makes you a better bodybuilder, right? Because they help you and they allow you to do everything that you need to do. Sure. And they even put their own needs to the side. But then at the same time, you could also find a woman and they're like, they have their own thing going on. And like, maybe they're not as supportive as, you know, of you competing, or they're more stressed. Like they cause more stress in your daily life and it actually prevents you from being a better bodybuilder. So it's really finding that right one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been on both sides of that. Both sides of that. You know what I'm saying? But it goes both ways. Because male support is kind of silent. It's like it's not loud, but like you guys you would literally like die for her. Like if push came to something, you would literally take a bullet. Like you wouldn't even think about it. You would just be like bullet, boom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like our support. Joe actually made a post, right? As a man, I can't remember the post. It was like, as a man, our job is to do this, do that, and it was spot on. It's like an unwritten rule. You don't have to say it. Right? We don't talk about it. We just know that at the end of the day, we're not going to complain. We're going to get it done. We're always going to make it happen. If you got a wife and kid, you're going to make sure that they're good. Whatever that means, when you're down to your last penny, you're gonna make sure that they're good. Even if you have to starve, you'll make sure they're good, right? So it's kind of like they look out for you in their way. Like, they'll make sure you're okay, and at the end of the day, you're gonna make sure everybody's okay. You know what I'm saying? We don't. It's not as visual, I think. We don't really make it a thing. It's just that they know and we know, right? And that's it. So it's one of those things. You'll literally do anything for your family. There's nothing you won't do for your family. You know what I'm saying? So that's always that's how it should be. All right. Question, Andy. Who's your coach?
His name's Prob. I don't know if you know him, but his Instagram is Prod by Prob. He actually works with Precision Elite. I don't know if you've heard of them, but he actually grew up here in Fresno with me, and I've known him for years. And he really started getting deep into coaching probably like 2-3 years ago. And I was working with Jansen for a little bit, and then I would always kind of come to him for like secondary advice. Sometimes Matt wouldn't be responding in a timely manner, or
go figure.
Sometimes your coach makes a call and you're kind of just like, I don't know, whatever. Obviously, Matt's not really coaching anymore, so I think when I was with him, he was kind of transitioning out, which explains, like the delayed response times or whatever it may be. And, I just started working with him December of 2023, did the pro debut 2024, and then had like a real first off season, which was only about 3 months. And then this is our second season together, and we were able to, get that first Olympia qualification.
Fire. Matt does get a tough time, but Matt, when he was all in at his prime, I think he was a really good coach.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a matter of coaching skill. I think it was just time and priorities. I think that's all. But I do believe even Compton would tell you, like, at his prime, I mean, he's good at what he does when he's focused, right? Yeah. I just think his focus was just not there. But okay, a question for both of you was what I was getting at is because you've done more shows than you. Okay, first of all, does your coach do like a traditional rebound after a show, or like a rest, or you go straight to rest?
Joe?
Oh no, for Joe, I think I know the answer for Joe, but let's see.
You can go first, Joe.
I mean, I think everybody knows that I always do rebounds. I've been known for that.
but because you did more than one show, does the rebound change at all? Is it or
no? Okay. I mean, the show was only. It'd probably be different if, say, they're like 4+ weeks apart, but it was literally just 1 week to the next. So, I mean, the longest prep I've ever done was 19 weeks. So this one was technically, with both shows, 18. And I rebounded as long as literally, I think the longest rebound was 9 weeks long. No, I'm lying, 10 weeks long. So like half a year I was pretty much on, and then I came off for 3 months.
My body can't handle it. But Justin never had me rebound that long because my body can't handle that shit, bro. I just can't. I can't recover. Justin
will only there's no time frame. It's we check in every week. If my 100%. Body's responding, if I'm staying tight, and we just ride that out until we start seeing either I start getting a little more soft, or it's like, okay, at this point, are we going to be putting on any muscle tissue? Are we full of the house already? What am I seeing here? It's a point of no return kind of thing. This is where we should stop. Yeah. I'm the person that I don't do cheat meals at all the whole rebound period. And the reason being is the tighter you stay and the hungrier you stay, the more out of the rebound you're going to get. So I never hit that point right away where it's like, hey, we need to shut this down, because I don't fuck around. It's literally me on prep with slowly implementing more and more food and increasing training volume. That's what I do every year.
That's a telltale sign of a good coach, that they don't just have an arbitrary plan and say, we're just going to do this 8 weeks, this 8 weeks. They got to go by what they're getting back, right? So I feel like you were able to stay really lean, like you said, you don't cheat, but also it looked like you were able to perform well and recover well, even being that lean on the rebound, right?
Yeah, I always believe though, like if you again you don't fuck around, you stay hydrated, you eat the good nutritious foods, you keep inflammation low. You know, you're
Mm-hmm.
not on any crazy compounds anymore. You should be able to keep going as long as you didn't do nothing crazy during the prep. And I never
Yeah, yeah,
have done anything crazy. Even my water, like believe it or not, like the day of the show, I think I had like going almost 4 liters of water.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so
So
that
I mean, in the day before the show, I had 5 liters of water.
okay, okay, damn. So okay,
No
so
diuretics.
so with comp, so unfortunately, I do have to do some extreme stuff just to get like a decent look. So um let's say even dehydration, I have to dehydrate quite a bit, right? um Also, like the cardio and the food. So for me to maintain my body fat that lean, my calories are pretty low, and then my recovery is shit. So unlike you, Compton would actually give me more food faster, just to get me at a point where I was able to perform and recover, which further going to be different for everybody, right? Like you were able to perform and recover at like a really lean body weight, but also like you said, you didn't really dehydrate, right? You kind of ate up into the show, so you probably feel a little decent. Whereas if you're having to continue to do cardio, and it's probably not the best thing to stay super lean when your recovery is shit, right? So he would feed me out faster, get me up to like at least like two high 260s, and then I'm like, okay, I feel good, and then we kind of hold it there. Whereas you would hold lean and then push up high, right? You would like stay lean, 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 and then boom, you get big. I would kind of like boom, 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 and then hold it more really slowly, and it makes sense given that what your body is going through, right? Because it's like, okay, basically you have to go with what almost works for you and your body to be able to perform and make gains, right? So
Yeah.
with Andy, I don't know how your preps go, or how
Mhm.
extreme you have to be, or how your rebound goes. So first of all, about how does your coach run his rebounds, if he does rebounds?
Yeah, so we usually just do the traditional reverse by just like maybe keeping food like relatively low right after. We do have cheat meals in one cheat meal per week, but we like to keep things like extremely tight. Like I'll be 8 weeks post show, and I'll only be up like 5 pounds, 6 pounds maybe.
Okay, okay,
And then also we just as soon as the show is over, we get on a cruise, come off all orals, come off all fat burners, everything like that. Just really clear out, and then that kind of because in my mind, like your body is so primed, right, from 16, 20 weeks of dieting that your body's like a sponge. So you give it, 250 grams of carbs a day, you go in the gym and you get a pump, like you're going to grow. Your body's so responsive. So like, I can gain weight very quickly. Like I'll go have a huge cheat meal and I'll be up like 8, 10 pounds, but
mm-hmm.
then right back on plan, the weight goes right back to baseline. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we usually like to get back to like our show day weight probably within the next couple of days after the show. And then he'll start like on the proper like reverse diet, like, I don't know, say start a baseline of like 300 grams of carbs a day. And then obviously we don't want the weight to like not move at all. So as long as we're trending up, like say a pound and a half per week, then he'll maybe bump the food up a little bit more, pull cardio down to say 20 minutes from 25. But the biggest thing is just like staying as tight as we possibly can. Cause it's our mind, like if we come out of our health phase, obviously lab work looks good. Like we're able to jump into a blast or like an off season. If we're already super lean, our appetite is still high, insulin sensitivity is still very good. You can really drive that baseline diet super high to where you're eating 5, 6, 700 grams of carbs a day, and you're still really tight in the off season, which ultimately makes your prep so much easier. Because if you stay within, say, striking distance of like 8 week out condition, well, when you start prep, like you're not going to have to do an hour and a half of cardio. Most people aren't, because your body's so responsive. You make one little change, your metabolism is rolling all year round. So you make one little change, it just starts rolling like extremely quick. So like this last prep, the highest our cardio got was 35 minutes.
Nice.
And I used to be that guy too, Beatty, where I'm doing 90 minutes on the stairs, like carbs and just my pre-meal and nothing else, like really having to dig to get in shape. But the lowest my food got was maybe like 200 grams of carbs a day. I was ready probably like 3 weeks out. So almost every other day was like a mock peak day, 700 grams of carbs, just to keep the body like where it was instead of continuing to drop. So the prep was extremely easy, and it wasn't like really too hard fatigue wise, because only 35 minutes of cardio. I mean, that's a breeze. And then the last 2 weeks we pulled cardio completely. So that's kind of how we do it. Just keeping things tight like all year.
Okay, so you kind of said something that a lot of people are starting to recognize. You said prep was easy this year. We know that when you say easy, it's still fucking hard. But but in comparison to like your hardest prep, right? Because we're gauging it by our fucked up minds, right? So to most people, it's just hard as fuck. But compared to like your hardest prep, it was nowhere near your hardest prep, right? And I'm noticing that a lot of people bring in their best looks when they don't feel their shittiest. There's gonna be moments of shit. There's gonna be a lot of moments of shit. But relative to like your worst prep, like, oh my God, I feel so shitty. A lot of times that's not a good look. You go into the show and you feel like you're dying. Sometimes, maybe if it's a short period of time, you know, if you're really pushing condition. But if the entire prep you're just shit, sometimes you look shit as well. You know?
Yeah, you have to be able to bring the body back to life. You don't want to get on stage and your physique looks tired. You always hear that, like, oh, he got on stage, he looks tired, his body looks tired, like, because it probably is, right? So if you don't, the good thing, as Joe knows, like, Joe is always ready early. Joe will post a check-in 6 weeks out and he's got shredded glutes already. So being ready early allows you to kind of pull back, feed up a little bit, freshen the body up, to where it's like towards the end, okay, our cardio is low, our food is high, our fatigue is low. That's the main thing. Then when you get on stage, it's a fresh look. You know, your muscles feel fresh, they look fresh, which ultimately yields to a better look on stage, I think.
So
yeah, and I've always one thing with my body is I think every prep that I do should be no less than 16 weeks out. I think that's like the sweet spot for me, because it gives me enough time to get ready like that, to get ready early and come into the show like almost with a fresh body, like you said. Because we do the hard pushing like somewhat in the middle, like, so I'm digging deep around 8 weeks out, and then by the time it's like 5-6 weeks out, it's like, okay, we pushed our hardest earlier, we're still pushing, but we're not digging to that deathly feeling anymore. And I had a little bit higher body fat too, right? So it's like you have that energy to push real hard and then pull back. So yeah, I've always thought getting ready early was the best way.
It's the key, for sure.
bro, there was a prep with Compton that I had that was like 24 weeks long, and then pretty much right after the show, he was like, "Listen, man, everybody's different, right?" Joe was able to put on a lot of body fat and be able to diet it off, right? If you know that you don't have the metabolism to diet off that fat in a timely manner, you don't need to be putting on that fat. You know, so if it takes you 24 weeks to get lean, and I still wasn't peeled, well then wait. So you have to understand, if you're somebody like Nathan DeAsha, you can be completely fat and get peeled in 8 weeks. Well, then the body fat you can put on body fat if you want to. But if you struggle with condition to begin with, and it take, you know what I'm saying, then you don't need to be putting on that extra body fat. It's not worth it.
That's like what we figured out. So, for example, like 2 off seasons ago, me and Prob's first like real one, we pushed all the way to like 270. We're like, hey, we need to put on some size. Let's hold it at 260, 270, you know, let that weight stick, you know, the traditional, get the weight up to where it's never been. So we got to 270. I'm soft as hell, right? But a huge. Well, we start prep. we pulled all the way down to like 211. So like
God damn.
60 pounds, right? So I'm like, where did all that tissue that we built, where did it go? So we completely scrapped that approach. We're like, you know what? Let's just like stay insulin sensitive all year round. Let's like keep the food moderate. There's no reason for us to get up to 260, 270. The highest I got before this last season was 245, and I was really lean. I got on stage at 223. So I put on like over 10 pounds of tissue and a 3-month off season, but I only got my weight up to 245. So I only really lost 22 pounds in a 16-week prep versus losing 60. So ultimately, like, I think there is something to be said about getting your weight up, getting stronger, putting on more tissue. But like Joe said, it gets to a point where it's like, how much of this is muscle and how much of this is just unnecessary body fat that's going to have to come off at some point anyways, right?
Yeah. Joe, how did this prep differ from last year's prep? That was last year, right? Last year? Yeah.
Yeah. I did way less cardio than I've ever done. And then
Why is that? Well,
I
why you
just think I had more muscle tissue.
Okay.
Like if you look at my body composition, I actually woke up the morning of the show, the same body weight that I was at the Cal last year. I was just like shredded though this time. So I want to say I put on about 10 pounds of muscle tissue. Me and Justin Stigler was about 10 to 12 pounds of muscle tissue to match the. If I matched the conditioning of last year, I was about 10 to 12 pounds heavier. So I just think the added muscle tissue led to a way more efficient, better, fast firing metabolism. And, you know, like you move a bigger body, you're going to burn more calories. So I think that's what it is. And then I got somewhat soft this year, but not near as soft as the year prior. I still got up to 297, like 0.8 pounds, I think was the heaviest I saw in the off season. I was 304 on a scale at a gym. And that was pretty much around the same as I got in 2023. But I still had veins in my shoulders. I had better abs still. It was a different 300 pounds.
Stop me at your biggest off-season weight. Am I getting close?
My biggest off-season weight, it was the picture of me in that gas shirt.
Right here?
No, go down. It was like an advertisement for gas. Go down. Go down. That one to the left. Go up.
This one?
No. Yeah, it's that gas one right there.
This one?
Down.
Oh.
No. That one. The one right there. Curling. Yeah. That was 304 pounds right there.
I mean, you look pretty lean, man.
Yeah, to me,
that's what I said.
That's pretty lean, yeah.
Yeah, that was the day I weighed 304 on that scale at that gym.
Oh, that's a good 304. Yeah, well, that makes sense if you competed. I don't know. You competed at 250s.
Well, also the day of the show I was 247, and John Jewett had a scale backstage, and I was 250.4 on that scale.
Yeah. John don't play. John weighs himself after every meal.
Yeah.
But I saw a video like he would piss and then he would weigh himself, see how much he pisses out.
Oh, but see it go down. Go down. That one where I'm in the pink, that was where I weighed like 302. That's the first time I hit 300 pounds.
It's a big difference, man. Big difference. But I mean, it still worked for you. You know, at the time, it still worked. You know.
The thing is, you know, like I always believed. Now, I don't think you have to get as fat as I did. However, my body knows how to be that heavy now. So I have the appetite to always get to 300 pounds. The first time you ever get 300 pounds, I wasn't eating only clean food. I mean, it's impossible for me. Like, there's no fucking way. But now, if I wanted to eat my way back to 300 pounds, I can do it with clean food. And I think that's why I stay tighter, because you teach your body how to be heavy like that. So now you can grow into that weight.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I mean,
sorry.
I easily spike back to 290 real fast. It's so easy for me to get 290.
Well, look what happened to Jordan. Look at Jordan's 290 from last year versus 290 from this offseason. Two different people. But he had to get up to 290 soft first. Before, like you can't expect, bro. You can't expect to be like a heavyweight bodybuilder and all of a sudden be 290 lean. Like it doesn't work like that. There's steps. There's steps to get to 290 the first time. There's no way you're gonna look like fucking. You're not gonna like Brett Wilkin at 290 your first time.
So the reason I got so soft was when I did the Cal in 2022. My starting weight for that show, that prep, was 240 pounds, and then I competed at about 215 to 218, and then that off season I went from the prep start was 240. The next year, going into USA's, my preps the highest weight in that off season was 274. And then going into the Cal, the start of that the peak of that off season was 302. And so every year I went like past my previous off season's weight by like 20, 30 pounds. So you guys have seen all these big gains in muscle mass. Yeah, I got soft, but I put on a fuck ton of muscle every year that I did it. Is that going to happen anymore at this point in my career? No, but the goal isn't to put on a bunch of muscle as possible anymore. It's more so fine tuning the physique and putting just the right amount of muscle in the right places. So the approach is different. So like, you guys won't see me pushing any higher numbers. It's just going to be growing into a weight better and better each time now, trying to fine tune and put muscle in the places that my body needs it. That's it.
For Andy, he has to make weight, so it's different.
Yeah, but and I'm also classic, not open. So
he's not chasing open size. He's doing what I have to do now, but he wasn't having to put on 40, 50 pounds of muscle to compete with all these open guys. That's way different.
For open, once you reach a level of density where you don't even have to be as dense as Joe, but you reach a level of density that it's like, okay, size is not this glaring issue anymore. It's not like, wow, you need all the size, right? When you're like, okay, you got some size, now we need some improvements. Honestly, at that point, you almost get rid of the scale. You weigh yourself for your coach, but in your own head, forget about it. Bro, it does not, I won't say it doesn't matter, but it really, same way like weight in the gym, it gets to a point where it matters less and less and less. And it's like you're going for a look at that point more so than a weight. And it's like the weight becomes the most questions I got during my prep was, what's your weight? What's your weight? What's your weight? And I was like, bro, it's so irrelevant because if I told it doesn't matter. I posted before and after. I was like, I bet you were heavier this year. I was like, bro, I was the same weight.
But I think bodybuilding is the perfect reflection of what like as your career goes along, you truly learn how to shift your mind from quantity to quality. Whether it goes from the food to the training to literally the muscle contractions, you learn how to get the most out of the least, and you become a professional at that. And but in the beginning, it's like the extremes, like as much as possible, as many as possible, trying to get the most out of everything you're doing, like in like a crazy way, right? But when you get smarter in this sport, you get better. You literally become a professional through time. It's crazy.
This was 250.
I was gonna say
255. This is 250. So this is lighter by 5 pounds.
Crazy.
Right? But I would argue this looks more muscular.
Well, it's harder, more detailed, more separated, and it is more muscular. It is. But besides, I had bigger traps last year for some reason. No, I think you're just posing it different. You're posing almost like more upright.
Yeah, but bro, it's like it doesn't matter. And then when Joe won USA, he was the lightest guy. When Chris Knox won USA, he was lighter than all of us. Like it's like, does it matter, or is just what the fuck you look like?
Well, most of the time too, it's like the heaviest guys, like let's say you take like, unless they're like truly a freak, let's say you go to USA's, you go to the supers class, you might get the heaviest guy. I can almost promise you he's not the most peeled. It's like
No.
most people, they still have 5 to 10 more pounds to lose. You know what I mean? Like look at the Texas Pro lineup, right? Like that top 4 peeled to the bone. Especially, you know, Joe and Jordan, but like everyone else, they're like, oh, I'm 260 on stage, 265, but that really they should probably be 250, 255. Like they still have more fat to lose.
Yeah. Well, my worst look was, I think, when this was the year before Joe's 2022. I think it was 2022. I was 260 on stage, and I was second call out because you got no business being 260, brother.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it should just like everyone asked me what I did different from fucking Cal to this, and I just got more peeled. The difference was not worrying about size and just like you're going to be in the first call out if you're peeled. If you're a pro, you're going to be in the first call out when you're that conditioned. And then it's just going to come down to now what are your weaknesses amongst the other guys.
I think
that's one thing I've learned. If you don't have conditioning first, you're not even going to get a look.
That's what I noticed too, Joe. Especially like in the pro league. Like I mean, Beatty, you probably noticed too. Like at USA's or like at a national show or a pro show, I feel like there's so many guys. That's like, what's the best way to give yourself a fair look? Just be the most peeled.
Oh,
Obviously, don't like lose your legs in the process, or don't lose a ton of tissue and take a bunch of T3, T4, and have nothing to show, but. I think ultimately, like if you want to get a very fair look and have them, not overlook you, you come in peeled like Joe did, like you just can't deny it.
Yeah. So as you see, bro, like even I came in peeled, they had me at the back of the first call out. So they noticed me. It's like, you know what? I'll throw this guy in here. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but we'll give him a chance on the outside. And then as each round went, I got closer and closer and closer because now you're actually looking at me once you saw that I was conditioned. But right away, they're like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but we'll give him a chance.
Hey, but what surprised me is that they made you work again in Texas. I kind of assumed that they would be like, hey, there goes the machine, brother. Yeah, come go in that first call out. But they still made you work your way up again. I'm like, goddamn. But then you worked your way all the way up to fucking second. There you go.
But it was funny too because I didn't get discouraged. Like I said, there was no stress on me in that one. I'm like, I've already been seen, so I'm just gonna fucking do my thing. And I was like, I know I didn't get worse. I was like, I know I brought a better package, so I just got to keep doing what I fucking do. And then so it was cool. And it was funny because Justin did say, man, they're really going to do this shit. Okay, fuck it. Joe's going to fight his way. I already know Joe.
Beautiful. Me and Justin talked about that actually. Because we talked about how you and Paul post so much and you got to do your last round and there's no change. Your posing doesn't change. Your face, you guys aren't breathing hard. If it's hot, you might sweat. That's about it. But even the sweat, you guys don't sweat that much, if anything. So he was like, if you were one of those guys that start breathing and letting go of the stomach, you would have never worked your way up to second. Which is a lot. That happens a lot. We've seen it happen to a lot of guys, where they start breathing. It even happened to Janicki at the thing with Arnold. He was working and he started breathing and the stomach. You're like, damn, yeah, he's not. And then you won't move up. But because the way you guys pose, they were like, well, he's not posing.
Baby, you saw when you trained with us at Madhouse, we worked out for too fucking long. We were there for like 2.5 hours filming. And we still did what we fucking did. We still posed like we're supposed to pose. 5 rounds. It didn't fucking matter.
I've posed with so many people, bro. And honestly, I almost brag about it. Like, this is keep going. This is no problem. Even with Compton, I'm like, yeah, keep posting me, and I'll post it no problem. It's different when you have a workout, a long ass workout, and you're tired, and you've been filming, and I'm watching you post. I'm like, I don't want to fucking pose. I got to be honest, and I'll take pride in being with it. But I'm like, I don't know about this. But I did it because you guys did it. But you guys didn't even. You just did. You just did it. It was like there was no way you were gonna say I'm gonna skip it because I'm hungry. We worked out way too long. We were shooting content, but you still got to pose. Most people would skip it. Honestly, I probably would have been like, nah, not today. Fuck that shit. You know.
That you know, but you see me work my way up, and it's like this is why that shit fucking matters. Like you literally watched practice go into play. And they always say, you know, if you practice harder than you play, the game's fucking easy, right? So now it's just a walk from the park. I'm not going to breathe heavy. I'm not going to let this get like Andy talked about it. I will never let anybody outwork me. Like I will turn every stone over because at the end of the day, if I lose, I want to lose because that guy was just better than me that day, not because it was something under my control that I could have brought better. You can't sleep at night. You can't.
That's the thing about bodybuilding is like you control what you can control. So that's coming in peeled, that's being ready posing wise, that's being mentally locked in, that's not being distracted from social media, whatever it may be. And then it's ultimately like when you actually get on stage, you're like, bro, I'm so prepared for this. I mean, you guys probably get asked this all the time, like from people like maybe family or people who don't compete. They're like, you're not nervous? You're not nervous when you go up there? I'm like, bro, I prepare all fucking year long for this. Like when the time comes, I am like, come on, get me out there. I'm ready, you know, because like that's our whole life is preparing for that, you know, few minutes on stage. So when the time finally comes, like there's nothing more we can do besides display it. And then, you know, you leave it up to the judges. And then like if Joe said, if someone just comes in there and beats you because, you know, maybe they have better genetics or more time on you, whatever it may be, or that's just who the judges pick, then you just tip your cap to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, the dopest part for me on stage when I went against Jordan and they placed me next to him and they were posing us was I felt myself pushing Jordan to have to be better in that moment. Like, and that was a good fucking feeling. It's like, yeah, they're making me work, but now because of that, and they're seeing that I can work, it's making Jordan have to work. Jordan has to earn, instead of it just being like, here, just give it to Jordan. It was like, fuck, dude, this guy's making Jordan better right now because Jordan has to push himself to a better spot. Or Joe's going to take it. And that was pretty fucking cool to see. And Jordan told me after, he was like, I fucking love competing with you, Joe.
Yeah.
You want to be pushed. You want to be like, fuck, I have to earn this shit, you know?
Jordan should be thanking you for doing the show.
Ridiculous.
No. But hey, the funny part, if you know Jordan well and you know Joe well, they're almost the same person, bro. I would say the difference is Joe is more like you're more like laughable, like more giggly, more laughing, more jokey. He's like a little bit more. He has a sense of humor. I'm not saying like you don't have a sense of humor. He's a little bit more serious. But you guys are very like from your morals to where you conduct yourself to everything to even put it like this. You guys have good genetics. You're not gonna act like you guys don't. Like you know what I'm saying. You guys have very good genetics. But out of that lineup, you guys weren't the most genetically gifted in that lineup. They were. I would argue, obviously Quint, but I would argue even like I think Bruno has really good genetics because you see Bruno put on a lot of size fast. He keeps his shape. There's guys in the lineup. Justin Shire, I would argue, we're talking about structure and shape and stuff, you know. But what you two have in common is that you guys bust your ass, and everybody says that. Everybody thinks they bust their ass. But when I'm talking about precision, perfection, you guys are where you're at. It has nothing to do with genetics. You know, yes, you have good genetics, but you guys were in top 2 because of genetics by any means. It's because day in, day out, you guys put in the work and you get better every fucking year. And then you beat a lot of guys that could beat you, but they won't beat you. You know what I'm saying? Because they won't because they work hard, but there's certain things that they're not doing, like posing for 5 rounds after fucking, you know, after 2-3 hour workout with commercials and shit. You know what I'm saying? So even when he came out, Roman came out, okay, let's film. We're like, bro, I don't. We came here to film. I don't want to film for a commercial, bro. I got to be honest. I'm glad we did, but I'm like, bro, I don't got it in me, bro. I want to get out of there. But yeah, so that's what separates you. You guys are top 2 for a reason, and you jumped over a lot of people that were ahead of you or before, you know, came before you a whole night because of the way you guys focus, you know, and it's, you know, it's paying off. It's paying off big time.
What's scary is just imagine another off season for Joe. What he's going to look like next year.
Oh, man,
I mean, Jordan too. I mean, like you said, the trend. Like you see some guys, like they're kind of always a first call out guy, but they always kind of look the same. Look at the improvements Jordan and Joe both made because of how diligent they are, how hard they work, all the boxes they check all year round, not just in prep. You give them another 6 to 8 months. Like imagine what Joe is going to look like next year. Like that's crazy.
People were almost shocked how good they were or how dense they were, and we weren't shocked. I mean, if you follow the sport and you actually follow the young guys, we weren't shocked at all. I mean, I think we saw it coming, but the general public kind of like, what the fuck? Whoa, you got how he guys dancing? I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you got to pay attention. And like these guys post a lot. You guys post a lot. It's that people only pay attention to people they know are already winning shows. But you gotta pay attention to people. Just because somebody hasn't won a show yet doesn't mean they're not going to, right? So you gotta pay attention. You know, you gotta pay attention to what's coming on. We don't have magazines, but go watch. I mean, like we said, Fuad noticed. Fuad and the guys noticed. Milos noticed. You know, both you and Joy, they noticed both of you guys. But you just gotta pay attention. I think Fuad and Brocha do a good job of showing love to younger guys who maybe don't have like this huge following, but just respecting the look of the actual physique and what's going on. They're paying attention, which I like. I like that. You have to pay attention, right? It's the future.
Well, they love that. They love the sport. You know, like they genuinely love the sport, and they all have a similar mindset, like that, like hard work ethic, like doing man shit kind of thing, because that's what it takes to get to the high level of this. So they're always gonna. You can't mimic a physique unless you like literally earn it, like that dense muscle tissue, that crazy conditioning. You have to respect it because you know what it takes to achieve something like that. Like Andy's conditioning, you knew the level of suffering that he brought to the stage to get to that look, you know, so it's always going to be respected.
Exactly. Yeah.
By people that know the sport.
Yeah. I would say last year for you and Jordan, I felt like you guys could have won shows last year. I felt like you guys were that good even last year, but it was like, okay, as long as they get a look, but there was that chance you wouldn't get that look. And both of you guys didn't really get the best look. This year, I was like, it's impossible. There's not one judge on the planet that's not going to see both of you. It's just impossible. And yeah, that's what happened. Like there's a certain level you get to. Yeah, there's not. there's no chance that you're not gonna get noticed, and that's when the names go out the window. It's just like, okay, this is bodybuilding. It doesn't matter who you are. You're gonna get a look. You know, you got to work for it. You still make you work for it, but you'll get a look. You know, we shouldn't happen with Martin too. You know, like, oh shit, look at Martin. You know, at the
one of the best feelings going into a show is when you have a lot of respect for your coach and his opinion, and all he has to say is like, "I'm really excited for this one, Joe. Yeah, I can't wait for this one."
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking exciting to hear.
Compton isn't a hype man either. He's not like the guy that's gonna. You know how like
he doesn't compliment you. So if he compliments you, you're like, what the fuck do I look like right now? Because telling me some shit. Oh, fuck.
The first time he told me that I believe you could win the USA's, bro, I almost cried, bro, because I never heard him say anything like that. I'm like, you think so? Even if you believe it, to hear it is different. You're like, I'm not delusional. This is not like a delusion.
It's almost like reassurance. Like, damn, I guess this is pretty real.
Exactly. Like, but it feels good to hear that. But yeah, he's not like, you know how George Farrell was. Every George Farrell client, yeah, this guy is the best. He's gonna be top five. You're like, God damn, everybody can't be top five, George. But like Compton isn't like that. He says it how it is. Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want me to say or like go over real quick before I go?
I would say, Joe, we'll have to do another pod just because an hour is not enough for everything that we can cover and talk. We
Yeah, I mean,
didn't even talk about the shows yet.
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
possibly.
I was like, fuck. If you want, I can come back on Sunday. I'm available Sunday, just later in the day. I was gonna tell you guys fuck. They said Thursday, and then I have other podcasts lined up. So I'm like
Well,
trying to
you're
make
busy.
time for. I
You're
mean,
a busy
Beatty's an
man now.
OG. Beatty's an OG, so I wanted him to like get me like first. One of the first people. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, is there anything you want me to ask before I go? Real quick.
Yeah, no. Do
So,
you think? I think me and Andy, if you got time, Andy, me and Andy
yeah.
gonna stay on a little bit longer just to cover a little bit more. But let's do Sunday, bro. If you got some time Sunday, Joe.
Yeah, and then Justin said you haven't reached out to him yet. So if you want Justin on as well, I mean, we can do one together on Sunday for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna hit up Justin for that. See what time he could swing. If the
I
time
can
lines
do
up.
I can do anything past 4 p.m. on Sunday over here.
Okay,
So
perfect. Yeah.
keep that in mind. And then no time limit. Like I can stay as long as you guys want.
Boom. My Sundays are free too, so let's do Sunday. All right, Joe. You already know, brother.
All right,
All
guys.
right,
Sorry, I
bro.
wish I could stay longer, but yeah, I'm on time because I got clients and shit too. So you got to
Oh no,
understand, man.
You're all
good,
good.
brother.
Yeah,
You good,
back
brother.
to work. Back to
Yeah.
work.
All right, brother.
guys.
bro.
It was great talking to you guys. Miss you, Andy. Got to see you soon.
All right. Oh, you will, bro. You will.
All
Yes, sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Later.
bro.
Andy, where do you live now?
I live a couple hours from LA, bro, in Fresno. You know where that is, right?
Oh, you live in Fresno still?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you lived closer. So how far is that? How far of a drive is that?
From LA, about 4 hours.
Oh, well, okay.
So,
What gyms do you train out there? Like
well, the main one I train at is called Trinity Gym. It actually opened in like February. The owner is a competitive bodybuilder, so he has a lot of the new Mega Mass equipment, a lot of old school like Cybex, Nautilus. He's got a posing room in there, so it's really really nice. There's another one I go to. It's called like JB Fitness. It's more of like a private facility, so when I go there it's like usually pretty empty, and like I could literally train. Nobody will see me, nobody will come up to me and talk to me, and I'll literally just get in, get out in an hour, and I'm out of there.
okay, but is it like would you say it's a place where bodybuilding is like big or no? Not really.
I mean, the only other pro, Aaron Banks, men's physique.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he lives here. He's from here. Other than that, no, I'm the only classic pro. There's no open pros.
Flex is from there originally.
Yeah, Flex Wheeler. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's definitely growing. Just like I feel like bodybuilding everywhere is growing. Like competing is like a popular thing to do now. So I definitely see like a younger crop of people, especially in the gym. Like people, competing for the first time. Or I have buddies who like they didn't compete for a couple years and now they're jumping back into it. And I think it's pretty cool. So it's definitely a growing community for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So to switch gears a little bit, do you feel like you're being talked about as like a potential first call out guy or like a top 10 guy or anything like that? Or you don't feel like that's been the case?
No, not really. Honestly, I think like I try to when I approach like competing and stuff, I try to be very, very realistic, right? My realistic goal for the first Olympia, because you got to think in classes, there's probably like 50, 60 guys. I want to crack the top 15.
Okay.
I just think like, because Niall, right? One Punch Nas.
Yeah.
So like his Olympia debut last year, he got 11th, or Matt Grego, he got 10th. I feel like a lot of these guys that are like really, really good on the come up, they usually place within like 10 to 15, right? So I feel like that's a good benchmark for me to place in that top 15. Obviously, if we're in the first call out, yeah, like we're gonna work for it for sure. I mean, nothing's off the table, but I'm not gonna be upset if I'm not in that first call, just because I know it's the Olympia, bro. Like I don't think I'm at the level to stand next to an Urs, a Ramon, a Josema, a Mike. I'm just not there yet.
In classic, the classic Olympia, 15th place is about 8th place in the open.
Yeah.
Bro, to get a look, there's people that I know personally. I remember, damn, I forget his name. What's his name? He goes to Gold Runners. I'm drawing a blank.
Damian Patrick.
Yeah, you know them. And I see this guy in person. I'm like at the gym in prep, and I'm like, what? There's no way he doesn't get a look. Yes, there's a way he doesn't get a look because there's fucking 50 guys who look insane. Who look insane. And you see any of those guys in person, you're going to be like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they don't get a look, but it's like, you can't even be mad because look at the people around him. You're like, okay, yeah. I mean, they're all crazy. There's so much levels to crazy. You just said Niall. And yeah, last year you'd be like, well, how does he get 11th? Look at how crazy he looks. Okay, well, look at 10th place. Well, look at they're all insane. So with open, I feel like I can confidently say this guy is gonna be top 10, or even with my clients, or you're gonna win that show. I can confidently say that. When classic, I can say there's a good chance it will be, but I can't confidently guarantee any because there's just so many people who all have these crazy structures and perfect conditioning and posing, and it's so close and there's so much volume that it's almost impossible to say for sure. You know?
Yeah. I think that's why when me and Joe were talking, it's like the biggest thing is we just want to come in as peeled as possible, because it's like, if let's say everyone is on 85% conditioning, well, then I feel like you're just more likely to get lost in the pack, lost in the shuffle, because there's so many, there's 60 people. So you don't instantly stand out oh, this guy right here in the middle is fucking peeled. Maybe he'll be in the first or second call out. Then I feel like it's kind of hard for you to get in that top 10, top 15, because if you just get lost in the mix, that happens even at USA's, that'll happen. You'll get lost in the mix.
Bro, this sounds outlandish, but some people don't fully understand bodybuilding, bro. So I've been told by people, because they're looking at structure and shape, right? I've been told by people, bro, you ever thought about going for your pro card in classic? And then I'm like, first of all, it might take me longer. It might take me longer to get it in classic. It would be a real. And believe you me, I'm not gonna look good next to classic guys when I'm at their weight. That's their game. That's not my game. Believe you me, because even as a super, when I come in too flat or too light, I don't look good next to them. Right? So it's this idea that is just this weight thing. And I have a small waist compared to super heavyweight bodybuilders. I don't have a small waist compared to you, Andy. So it's I get it. They don't mean it. It's supposed to be a compliment. It's supposed to be you have good shape is what they're trying to say. They're not trying to shit on me. They're trying to give me a compliment. They just don't understand the.
But they don't also it's they don't realize the weight cap too. They always say, I always see the same comment with Patrick Moore. Patrick Moore's too small. He needs to go to classic, but he's his weight cutoff is 195 and he's 240 on stage already. And if he's too small at 240, what do you think he's going to look like at 195?
Exactly. Let's say he's 5'9", 5'10". Bro, when you're depleted, dehydrated, you might end up being 5'8". You might end up measuring at 5'8", right? Cause you lose a little bit, and then his weight is he's not making weight. And you see him in person, bro, he's a lot bigger than you think he is. I know when he's standing next to John Jewett and Joe and stuff, you're like, yeah, y'all, he's undersized. Okay, okay. Bro, his arms are he got 24-inch arms, bro. He's big. I know you might not understand the context, but a lot of people don't realize really what's going on, And listen, anybody who thinks going to classic from any division is gonna be an easier time than any other division, I think you're out of your mind. I mean, that's the division that is probably going to be the most difficult. I mean, what do we, the only times maybe if you're extremely tall or extremely short and you go to a national show and there's not many other 6'4" guys or 5'4" guys in maybe you might have a little easier time than the normal, than the more common heights. If you go from like 5'7" to 5'10" ish, I don't know the classes, but I'm sure that would be a very competitive height classes.
And that's the thing too. Like everyone talks about like what is classic, right? Like what's even the criteria? Like at the Arnold, people were trying to say Logan Franklin was beating Mike, and in my mind, I'm like, no, it's not even close.
Yeah.
But some people look at Logan Franklin's physique and is like, oh, he looks like Arnold, therefore that means he's the most classic. But it's like so there's the criteria aspect, there's the shape aspect, and then there's like also a huge genetic proponent. You have to have like a big structure with hollow bones. You have to be able to get in shape, have good proportions, have good muscle bellies, and still be able to be under your weight cap. And it's very hard to look big and then still be under your weight cap. A lot of people, even I noticed it this year, because I'm still like 5 to 7 pounds under my cap of 227. And there's guys on stage and they're like, bro, I had to die to make weight. Like I had to not eat for 3 days and I barely made the weight. And then I get on stage and I'm bigger than them. And I'm like, they're already like, how did they improve if they're already at the top of their weight class and I look bigger than them? So it's kind of hard.
This is true. Yeah. I don't think you should force weight within reason. I think it can work to a point, but you see like even guys like John Jewett, who are forcing the weight down, you would assume, well, he'll look better sucking down because he'll be better conditioned. It depends how much you have sucked down. You might look worse. We've even seen it with Stefan Matala. You'd be like, cause the first thing I was thinking when he moved up, I'm like, boy, your glutes weren't in that classic. Why would they be in now? But I was wrong. Honestly, I think he was just flat because you see his fucking chest is fucking all. I'm like at like 270, he had all these striations. I'm like, oh, okay, I see. I think he was just flat. I think he was just bigger than, or even what's his name? But the Nigerian guy, he was classic, went to 212. Black Panther, Courage.
Oh yeah, Courage Opara, yeah.
So same with him. Granted, he wasn't super peeled at his 212 debut, but I don't give a fuck. He won that show, motherfucker. He went crazy.
The number one example, Keon.
Yeah. But Keon's shape got better.
So it almost makes you wonder, like, what happens if Keon just jumps in the open and like puts on 20 pounds?
I think as is, I think who was sixth place?
Hunter.
I don't want to be rude, but I think he has a chance of being Hunter even right now.
I asked a question on Bro Chat on like the comments, and I was like, who would win, Keon's 2024 Olympia or Martin's 4th place Olympia? And they were like, fuck, I don't know, because that's a mixture of both. You got like the hard, nasty muscle with Martin, but then you have like the hard, freaky V taper with Keon. So it's like, I feel like that'd be a good battle too.
Well, because people say like, well, but they're a smaller guy, man. Yeah, but so is Derek and I've seen these people in person. They're smaller guys. Now they have the width. That's different because Keon has the width too. So if you're talking about like Sean Clarita, right? Yeah, he doesn't have the structure to beat the bigger guys, but that's a big difference between Sean and Keon. Keon has the structure. I would go as far as to say that with all due respect to Derek, I think Keon is a better version of Derek, man. Mm-hmm. Derek is denser right now, obviously, but like you said, another I don't know what, another 10 pounds, maybe 12. And I think he's right up there, bro.
Well, what's insane is that Keon, on one of the last podcasts I was watching, I think he said it in 2024, he was like 201 or something. So he's still 10 pounds under his 212. So let's say this year he comes in at 210. Like, he already destroyed everyone last year. What's going to happen this year?
Well, it wasn't even close. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't believe he should hold back too long. I think even somebody like Ramon, if his placings don't start to go back up, he's going to have to make a decision because he's getting more muscular, but not on stage. Like, it's like the more muscle he packs on, the less he has to lose that muscle to make the weight. It makes him, he's not looking better, right? It's almost like eventually starts to look worse because you're having to lose more. It happened to Breon a little bit, and when they raised the weight cap, you saw Breon look a little better because you're having to you're putting on muscle just to lose it, and it doesn't, So it's one of those things that you're gonna have to. Even Urs might have to eventually make that decision. How long you're gonna suck down and be able to look better. But the whole classic thing. Who's to say you can't make a criteria on what looks classic? So, like Tyler said, you can't go by that because it doesn't mean anything. It's a relative term. Who's to say? I know what they're trying to say because we can all look at a physique and be like, "Oh, that looks really aesthetic." But even aesthetics in itself don't have the same meaning because you could argue Derek is aesthetic, but Derek had a very different aesthetic than Andrew Jack, who's also aesthetic, right? And then you have aesthetics can mean so many things. Because I think Logan is aesthetic, but Mike is aesthetic. He's just bigger than him.
Bigger, exactly.
Being smaller doesn't make you more aesthetic per se. You can get only if you lose your lines and shape. Then but Mike has gotten. I would argue Mike looks more aesthetic now than he did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in that. I think he's getting a hard time. All this 212 shit. I don't disagree that he would do well in 212, but he's gonna win the Classic Olympia as well. So why?
So is he your pick to win this year?
Yeah, he might.
Think so?
The only person. Honestly, I think he's gonna win by. I think he's gonna win. I don't want to say handily. I think he's gonna be the clear winner. I gotta be honest with you. If he's on, I think he's gonna be. It's too much muscle, too much shape, too much pop. The condition is spot on. The fullness, the roundness. It's like how who would have the combination to beat that at their best? Who do you think?
Well, a lot of people say Terrence, but I don't think Terrence is beating Mike.
Muscularity, everything besides muscularity and roundness, yes, and I would say slightly better shape. But Mike is gonna it's too overpowering. I think Terrence probably has the best physique up there, like his overall flow, posing, the whole nine. He presents himself very well. It's a beautiful, the most beautiful physique up there. But it's not. I don't think it's enough to beat Mike. Yeah.
I think, honestly, bro, I think Josema could be in that top three because, like, I think Josema could beat someone like Ramon because their physiques they're pretty similar, but like Josema's back, bro, and his conditioning, it beats everyone. And I feel like this is only his second year in the division because he came from Open. And like his recent updates, he just is like his waist is still tiny, his quads are improving, and I'm like, if this shows up peeled to the bone, like we know it's going to be like, why can't he be Urs or Ramon?
I mean, when people say the term, this guy out bodybuilded the lineup. I think Josema out bodybuilds every lineup he's ever competed in Classic bodybuilding. I would argue Terrence has a better physique than Josema. I would argue he probably should have beat him at one of those shows. I think they were 2 shows.
Yeah, New York and Pittsburgh. Yeah,
I love Terrence's physique, and I think a perfect Terrence will beat Josema. I think Terrence is going to beat Josema, but if I'm being completely honest, I thought at that show, Josema was just too fucking spot on that you would almost have to overlook Terrence's strengths to be like, this is insane. I don't know if I've ever seen like a better peak than that, bro. It was just ridiculous. So, next to Ramon, do you say, okay, Ramon has rounder muscle belly, so he beats Josema? Or do you say, bro, Josema is like denser, bigger, wider, more peel? it has to count for something, man. It has to count for something. And he changed his posing where I could argue he took his aesthetics from like a 6 to like a 7.5, which is a lot of points to gain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta agree. I gotta agree with you on that. You know, but I still think I think Mike is in a different world right now. I'm trying to think of. I can't see Urs beating Mike. I'm sorry.
Nah, I think Urs. I mean, although he has an amazing physique, and he actually has probably one of my favorite physiques in the division, he's still like lacking in some parts. Like his arms are a little bit on the smaller side. You know,
His
even
back.
like his back. Like Mike is just like so complete, so dense, like round sweeping quads, huge back, huge arms. You know, tiny waist. Like there's not one pose where Mike looks bad in.
Yeah. I think Niall is his name, Niall Darwin.
I see him in the top 6, bro.
I think he has all the tools. The only thing that sets the top guys over him is a level of density. Like you look at Josema, but that's not fair because Josema is just insane. But just in general, I think there's a level of density that like the top 5 guys have that Niall doesn't quite have yet. But you talking about muscle bellies and clean lines, and he's in condition. He's built. It's really beautiful to look at, and it looks effortless. Something about him on stage, it looks effortless, and it's presented really well. I think if he continues to do what he's doing, he's gonna be like a regular top first call out guy. He's gonna be in that mix for sure. I think he's
bro.
really
The classic physique the classic division is so exciting this year, bro, because it's open for grabs. But I mean, the open is too, bro. I mean,
it's true.
The open. I mean, you can make arguments for like 4 different people. Like if Hadi makes it, you're like, he took the whole year off. Like he's gonna come back fresh. He's hungry for his get back. He's gonna win his title. Then you can make the argument for Derek. Well, he did beat Samson. He did beat Nick, although questionable. Then you can make the argument for Nick, like Nick's updates. He probably should have beat Derek. If Nick comes in and Derek is off, Samson is off, and maybe Hadi doesn't show up, or maybe Hadi's off, Nick's taking it, bro. So
yeah. I could say I would not be able to put money on the winner. It wouldn't be a good bet to take. I can't put money. Back in Phil's days, it's funny because you would see people say, I think Kai is going to win. You tell people, put money on it. Nobody put money against Phil.
Yeah.
And nobody put. You have your favorites, but nobody's going to put money on Phil. Right now, I can't put money on anybody. I don't trust that anybody is like ahead of the pack. Nobody's ahead of the pack, bro. You said Nick beat the guy who beat Samson. He didn't win the show, but I mean, we all kind of saw it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch, man. It's gonna be fun to watch. But I don't want to hold you on too long. I definitely want to have you back. We'll probably do Sunday, but probably 4 of us. Yeah. Probably me, you, Joe, and Compton. I think that'll be a good one. And I want to get Jordan on too, but he's probably super flooded.
Oh yeah, I was DMing Jordan because we're on the same Flavor Gang team.
Oh,
so, yeah, and then I think Straight Labs too. But like we always message back and forth talking about our waffle recipes. We're always posting the waffle recipes, and like I could tell, bro, he's just like so swamped with stuff. And like I don't know if you check your YouTube feed, but like every day he's on a new podcast.
Yeah,
so,
I saw today.
Too. Yeah,
I saw today. I feel like maybe it's his temperament. I feel like, well, he's gonna get it now with the podcast, but he even last year, bro, he got second to Andrew. I mean, it's like I feel like he doesn't get. People know he's good, but he doesn't get a lot of hype per se. You know,
I think after this Olympia, because I could see him in the top 10. Like I could see Jordan beating someone, say like Regan. I feel like that's a good.
I think so.
A good. So like if he beats Regan and let's say he's in the top 10, well then your people will know who he is. Just like Joe, like nobody even knew who Joe was. Now any show Joe enters, he's probably going to be the favorite to win.
Yeah, Regan got him on probably overall structure and shape. I think Jordan has him on density and condition for sure. And that counts for something. He kind of similar now that I think about it. Kind of similar looking.
Very similar, yes.
But one is way gnarlier. I think he beats Regan. I'm sorry. I think he beats Regan. I think he beats Regan. I think him and Tonio would be a closer battle.
I was thinking that too.
I think him and Tonio because Tonio is pretty wild himself. Jordan is a bigger guy. Tonio gets in shape. I don't think he's as peeled as Jordan though, but he's in shape. But though he has really deep insertions that make him appear to be even in better shape than he is as well.
What about someone like Brett Wilkin?
I think he's a wild card because it's hard. What Brett Wilkin are we going to get, right? Because with Matt, mind you, he was on the tail end of Matt. So Matt was bringing him in flat, bro. I don't think we've ever seen even close to the best of Brett. And he's still been able to win shows.
Did you see Brett Wilkin, what he posted on his story today? You might have to bring it up.
From what I'm seeing, he's just as shit. He might be even ahead of his normal condition, but he's not getting flat. So if he keeps that fullness with the condition, Brett is very, very, very dangerous, man. Extremely dangerous.
Like if you click on it, it's on his story. I think it's like the second or third slide. Right here. Look at that, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he's in shape already, but he doesn't look like he's losing anything, which is, I think, the most important part because he loses it. He loses a certain pop by the time he steps on stage. But I think that was just I think that was just not managing the fullness as much. Like I said, at that point, Matt, he was probably too busy to really keep an eye. And if you let Brett's metabolism get ahead of you, you're not catching up.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter how, he's kind of like Roman. Like it doesn't matter how much you feed him. Like once it's gone, it's gone.
Exactly. And from watching Brett's videos, man, I gotta be honest, it seemed like he was doing a lot of the prep himself. I mean, the off season was all him, from what I've seen, and it seemed like he was kind of handling a lot of it himself, which isn't a good thing if you have a body that's that volatile, because you're gonna be nervous to do what you're gonna be nervous to eat all that food. You're gonna be like, I don't know, I don't want to be not in shape. You need a coach that's like, trust me, eat the food, So Brett is dangerous, man. Brett is really dangerous. So he was winning shows before Martin was, So I think he's somebody. Yeah, but how? Okay, so Jordan against Brett gets just as peeled. Yeah. It's gonna be density. How dense he is. If he's the Brett from last year and he's flat, I think Jordan gets him. If he's like peeled but full and round, because Jordan isn't a round guy. He the rugged guy, but not a round guy. Brett is kind of rugged. It's kind of rugged already, and if he's round on top of that, I think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I could honestly see that being like a 6 to 10 call out, like Jordan, Regan, because John Jewett's not going to make it. I think Quint will probably qualify, but like I think Quint, I mean, it depends what he shows up, but like I could see 6 to 10 being Tonio, Jordan, Regan, Brett, something along those lines.
Yeah, somebody's gonna replace Hunter. I think they're gonna fight for Hunter's spot. They're gonna fight for Hunter's spot. Everybody else we don't know. If Beirut is in there, oh man, I think Beirut is top 5. I think Beirut's top 5. I think Beirut's dangerous. But other than that lineup is up for grabs. You won't have John. You won't have John Jewett, John De La Rosa. Yeah, so people, you're gonna have to fill up those spots. But yeah, I think that's where those guys will be. And then you have
you know what? We forgot one person.
Who's that?
Nexzilla.
Oh yeah, we hadn't have him neither.
He could shake shit up too.
I think he's top 10. I think Nexzilla's big top 10. Right? I think he makes top 10. I mean that the free factor counts for something for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a fun Olympia, man. It's gonna be a fun Olympia.
We'll have to when we get Justin and Joe on. Obviously, we'll talk about Joe and like the Texas, the Tampa, the Peak, everything they did. I watched your podcast with Justin today, by the way. I'm like halfway through it. It was really good. But yeah, we can talk about that. Then when we get closer to Olympia, like start making some Olympia predictions, because Justin is actually, a lot of coaches aren't, but Justin is actually very like well versed in the scene. Like he knows all these guys.
Yeah, he knows what's going on.
It's awesome. So he could definitely put out some Olympia predictions, and we can kind of like break down the Olympia. And like, I want to see, I don't know if you guys talked about it on your pod, but I want to see like what he thought between Jordan and Joe. And like, I also want to hear his approach to Joe's off season. Like, what are they going to do to bring up Joe's legs? How are they going to approach his diet? Do they have any shows lined up for next year? Because I was telling Joe, I'm gonna actually apply for the Arnold when they start accepting the invitations, because I think that'd be really cool to do the Arnold, bro. I just think like if I get accepted, I'll definitely do it. And I told Joe, I'm like, bro, you should apply for the Arnold, because I mean,
I think he should too. I think he should.
I think Joe I think Joe easily gets a top 5 at the Arnold, top 3. Who knows? And just more for the exposure, right? Like imagine he brings that back double to the Arnold stage, like. That's nuts.
That's gonna turn heads. That might make Arnold take a selfie. That back double might make Arnold take one of those selfies. I think Jordan should do it as well. I think Jordan should do it as Arnold as well. They're at that spot where the Arnold is a great show, because they're gonna be right in the mix, and it's just good exposure, man. And
very good exposure. Prize money is fucking good. I think 5th place is like 40 grand, 50 grand.
That's great. And at the rate they're both improving, by next year, bro, they could already be like a different bodybuilder altogether. So I think that, I don't know if that's going to be the plan, but I think that would be a good plan. I think that'd be a great plan, actually. So,
we'll have to talk to Compton about that.
See what's up with that. But yo, Andy, thanks for coming on, man. We're definitely gonna have you back on. We'll chop it up Sunday again, brother.
Yeah. I appreciate the invite, bro. I don't really ever get to do podcasts, so it's really cool to actually be able to hop on and like talk bodybuilding for a bit. And I was looking at your channel too, and like you get a lot of good views, a lot of good engagement. And I think like if we can actually be consistent with these pods, even like once, twice a week, like this could be a legit pod that like a lot of people tune into, because we have your perspective as a really good host, as a competitor yourself, so you can relate. We have Joe, we got Justin, we got myself, which is like a classic guy, so it's not just all open. So it's like a really cool mixture with a lot of different like experiences, right? So and podcasts are really popular right now, bro. So and you're also a really good host. So
thanks, man. We usually do a good job till prep start. When prep starts, everybody gets a little quiet, and then it's like we get in the trenches. I think that's why you don't see a lot of active competitors host a podcast, right? Because they want to be clean minded. But I try my best until like the last month. Oh, it gets rough. It's rough.
I was just and towards the end of prep, I feel like everybody gets hella busy, right? Like you're maybe doing more cardio, you're like more tired, so you might take an extra nap through the day, or like just sometimes in the back end of prep you have so much shit going on, you're like, dude, I don't even know my schedule this week. It's like hectic, you know.
Exactly. But if the only time we miss, or the only time I miss, is like the last 3 weeks ish, it's not that bad, because it gets people excited. It gets people riled up, like, oh shit, the boys are back. Oh, you know, you don't want to miss too much. But if you miss a couple of weeks at the end of prep, it actually builds a little bit of excitement. That's just a couple, but there's still consistency, like at least weekly, regularly. Sometimes more than once. Sometimes more than once a week. I think Kane. No, it's one of those things. But we gonna chop it up Sunday though, brother. I appreciate you for coming on, brother.
Yeah, of course, bro. It was good. I appreciate you letting me on, bro. I had a good chat with you guys, so I'll see you again soon.
Yes, sir. All right, brother.
All right, baby.